I'm here with Dan. As you might have remembered a couple months ago, we brewed a couple of Doppelbocks together. He brewed a traditional Doppelbock and I brewed the non-compliant from the Mashmaker Challenge. So we're here today to compare the two finally after how many months? A couple months at least?
A couple months.
Yeah, so it's looking very good. Both of them are very well carbonated. Dan bottle conditioned his, and I keg conditioned mine. So it's been in the keg. Mine's been in the keg for about three and a half weeks or so.
I bottled mine November 6th.
Okay.
It's about a month.
So yeah, both of them have been around for about a month or so. I've been drinking on mine. I couldn't wait. And I think Dan had some too at the beer club last week, so that I had to miss. So wasn't feeling good, but I'm feeling great now. So, all right, we're gonna do a little taste test. I'll let Dan start with tasting the difference between the two, showing color and whatnot.
And so, huge difference in color. The traditional Doppelbock's more dark brown. Barry's is more dark. Not quite black, but very dark brown.
Almost stoutish.
Yeah, almost like a stoutish.
Yes.
So aroma, I get a lot of dark malts, strong malt aromas in mine. Yours almost get like a brown sugar almost.
Yeah. There's some dark malt involved in this, so there's definitely a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of coffee, yeah, maybe a little roast, for sure. Now, like I said, I've had this one before, so I kind of already have an idea as to what's going on with it, but I haven't had Dan's yet, so I'm going to start with this one.
I definitely have some dark fruit in mine as well.
Yeah, like stone fruit, raisin. Yeah, that's much more of a traditional Doppelbock for sure.
It definitely has that, I want to say chewiness, but it's got some depth to it, some nice deep malt character. I don't think it tastes boozy at all, do you?
No, not at all. Goes down pretty smooth, and on the backside, it kind of just disappears.
Yeah.
And you get a nice upfront flavor, and then once you swallow it down,
definitely is full.
It dries out. It dries out like a lager should. This is very good.
Which is surprising because I had to fight with it a little bit. My original plan was to throw the beer onto a yeast cake from an Oktoberfest, and that yeast cake was dry yeast 3470, and so I thought I'd have plenty of yeast, but it took a while to turn over. So I actually had to throw in 2 extra packets of yeast, and I think on the 4th day it finally started turning over. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with how it turned out, considering the issues I had with the fermentation being a bit of a lag.
Yeah, it definitely finished well. You might have had some issues in the beginning.
Yeah, I finished at 1018, so I think anything below 1020 for something this big is a good deal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember the brew day that the smell, the mash smelling in the mash time was just incredible. It just smelled so good. Yeah. I was I wanted to drink it that day. Well, this is really, really good.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah, it's very clean. There's no off flavors that I can detect of any time, of any type. It's exactly, in my opinion, what a Doppelbock should be. I don't want to drink too much of this because, yeah, then I'll be stumbling.
So it should be 7.5%. So it's probably right around where some of the commercial Doppelbocks are, 7-8%. I think that's where Salvatore's at, is about 7.5%.
Okay. All right, well, we'll try this one now.
Almost like a coffee type flavor to it.
Yep. Yeah, a little coffee, a little chocolate. As it warms up a little bit in the glass, it gets a little sweeter too.
Yeah, I think, would you finish at? It feels drier.
Yeah, I finished a little lower than you did. I think I finished at 10:10 or something like that.
The candy syrup dried it out a bit.
Yep.
I think.
But the candy syrup, as it warms up a little bit, that candied syrup flavor really comes through.
Yeah, they get like that. I don't say burnt, but I think because you used the really dark, the D180, so it does have like almost that really, really dark caramelization that I think comes through here. It's like almost on the verge of like a burnt taste.
Yes.
Probably that with some of the, because you said you had some roast malts in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it probably gives it that like that coffee-ish type thing going on.
It's definitely non-compliant. I wouldn't win any awards for this beer if we were entering a traditional Doppelbock contest, that's for sure. But this one is very tasty.
And very dark too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't even see through it.
Some nice lacing on it too.
It's interesting when you go back to this. This gets even sweeter after drinking this. Yeah. Almost like it almost gives it a honey overtone.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, honey.
Yeah,
exactly.
It gives it a honey overtone after you've been drinking this one. You go back to this
contrast.
one, it's like boom. Yeah. It's definitely two totally different beers, but still Doppelbocks.
That's bizarre. It tastes so much sweeter now because of the side by side.
Yeah, I think that roast and that kind of
Yeah.
This one definitely goes down and dries out quickly on the backside. Like the flavor goes away pretty quick.
Yeah.
But as I would think a lager should, you know, it's supposed to want you leaving more.
Yeah. What yeast did you use?
I can't remember it. I'd have to look that up. But geez.
It's very clean because you ferment a little warmer than lager temps, right?
No, I fermented this at lager temps. I kept it around 54 degrees.
Okay.
And then I stepped it down to 38 in the Keyser. And I let it sit for a few days at 38. And when I drew it into the keg, even though it is very dark, it's very clear.
Yeah.
There's no sediment, there's no floaties, there's no nothing in it. It's a very clear beer. If you pour it like into another glass, you can start to see right through it. It's a very clean beer.
It tastes very clean too. Very clean ferment. It still blows my mind how different mine tastes in comparison.
Yeah, the honey. It's just like all honey right now. It's almost like a boucher. Or
it tastes more sweeter.
Boucher, botchet.
I was like, I know this beer well because we had it at the club meeting, and I've had a few here and there, and it's just it kind of blows my mind because it's like I know what it should taste like. You know, like it doesn't taste like that at all now.
Yeah. And
just the comparison, and it's the same beer.
Well, when we tasted this first, it was definitely different. But it's interesting that the flavor would change. But I guess it's because this is so much darker and maybe a little bitter and drier that
roastiness.
Once you go back to this, you're really pulling out all those fruity and sweet, notes in this beer.
But your beer is consistent. Even if when I go back and forth, yours is still tastes like yours.
Yeah, I think it's just so non-compliant. It's overpowering.
The overpowering non-compliant bock.
Well, anyhow, I guess we'll wrap this thing up because we got a fire going outside. We're going to go outside and sit around the fire pit for a little bit. It's a nice chilly night here in Wisconsin. But thanks a lot for sharing.
Yes,
thanks a lot for the tasting notes. Really appreciate it. And this is going to wrap up this whole process that we went through from brew day all the way to getting back together here for some tasting notes. So hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you on the next brew day. Talk to you later.